Yeah, good morning. Good morning, my friends, followers, and listeners out there. I am particularly going to respond to the pathological liar, Suleiman. Yes, I addressed him as a pathological liar because that is what he is. Apostle Suleiman, I listened to your video and it was very, very shameful. It was laughable. In fact, why are these men of dogs like this? Why do they use the fear factor all the time to intimidate, silence, oppress, and shut their congregants up? In your video, you still did not take up the challenge of responding scripturally to the phrases condemnation of tithe, where he used the scriptures to condemn tithing. You still did not do that. What did you do now this time? Like Adeboye did, you apply the fear factor. You said, and I quote, that the tithe that you pay every Sunday is more than what all your members pay combined for 2 Sundays. Oh, Gasa. Now, so you dey lie? You take tithes from them to pay tithe elsewhere, and today now you are ridiculing them. You're making them feel like their tithes are even useless, or they are meager peanuts. Whereas these are the people that uplifted you financially. Whether you agree to it or not, it is the truth. Suleiman, you forget something easily because liars have very short and weak memory. I am going to tell you right here in this means, or through this means, that you lied. If you think that you pay more tithes than all your members combined for 2 Sundays, prove it. That you pay tithe to ministries and ministers. Who are they? Mention them. Let us know them. Who are they? If I'm not mistaken, your assembly can sit up to like 10,000 people in a single service. Let's assume that 85% of them actually pay their tithe. So what you are telling us now is that all the tithes they give you for 2 Sundays is still not up to what you pay in 1 Sunday. Why do these men lie like this? That aside, you said you have a PhD in human resource management or development and theology. The theology part of it should equip you enough to use the scriptural definition of tithing in support of tithing to counter that the phrase, but still you did not do that. None of you men of dogs have been able to tackle that issue using the scriptural backing. Why are you people using the fear factor on your members and your congregants? You said again, Justice Suleiman, that you were already a millionaire before you went into ministry. You lied. We know where you lived. We know your mother. The house you lived in around the Vito community, Dumes Road area, is sharing a fence with a Bohon Cultural Center. Your mother, I don't know if you're still in the force, was a policewoman. Are you saying that you made your millions from her salary, or you made your millions from roadblocks, or you made your millions by sitting at home? You are still that arrogant man we know, that arrogant youth in the area we know. You lack respect for people. Look at how you even talk to your members. Every time you grab the microphone in your church or outside your church or elsewhere, the first thing you do is to uplift yourself so much that you make your members or your congregants or your listeners so little. Even the elders there that are older than you or your parents, you talk to them anyhow. Yes, I'm back on. Like the day you said that the day Stephanie Otobo's mother was in your church, you were talking to your, it was that, should you walk away? What arrogance, what high-handedness, you be humble. You don't talk to your members like that because you just make them look so little that you are a dangerous tither. Of course, all of you are in the game. You can be a dangerous tither, a weak tither. Whichever tither you are, all of you are in the game. You see, I always compare our politicians to our pastors. You have this cabal, and you again say that you blame these baby pastors who are in a hurry to make name, to make money. My dear, I will put it to you that when you came into the game fully to start your ministry in 2004, there were already men in the game, big names in the ministry in the game, that you rose because you can quote phone numbers. Well, if I had to talk on that phone numbers that you quote, there's this pastor in the US that was busted in the 80s, Pastor Kapoff. His wife and himself used to be collaborators in that scam. And how do they do it? Pastor Kapoff will plant a receiver in his ears, a wireless receiver in his ears. Then his wife will be in the office using the CCTV to view the members. They already know some data which they collected by maybe evangelism or house to house preachings and or whatever. And when this man walks up to that member, the wife will be telling him through that transmitter the data of that particular person. He will tell the woman or the man his phone or her phone number, the house address, the bank details, the little problems, could be matrimonial, financial, or whatever problem they might be having. And these people become awed. They're like, wow, how can this man know these things? He's a real man of God. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Trickish people, criminals, all of you. That you have risen from this street boy, street urchin that wears one trouser and one shirt every day for years to become a filthy rich a man that have scammed his members through tithing and offerings and special seed. You can now raise your voice and talk to them as though they don't know anything. Who the hell are you? You think you are so rich that you pay tithe more than your congregants? Why don't you go and answer the $5 million suit against you in Canada? Why? Go there, prove yourself. Than to come on every day and make mouth. You are so arrogant, so disrespectful, so boastful, so high-handed, so braggadocio. That is all you do. Always making your members or your listeners look little. You belittle them every time. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? I ask you again, before ministry, how do you claim? Where do you get your millions from that you said that before ministry you're already a millionaire? Tell the world, let the world know. Show your tax records, show your tax returns. Let us believe that before you actually went into full-time ministry, you're a millionaire. Liars. Because people don't know you much in your congregation, but you forget that people knew you where you grew up in the Maze Road area. You even have a branch there now around the Alohan Street. What are you talking about? You said you are too big to condescend so low to debate that they freeze. The same way you think you have followers, that is how that young man has followers. The same way you think you are rich, that is how he thinks he is rich in his own might. He was not rich by taking tithes, unlike you. Or he is not taking tithe to survive like you. That you have built houses in Auchi for your parents, for girlfriends, or for whichever strippers, I don't know, that you know how to dash money to. You can now come out and start to talk anyhow, rub your mouth anyhow in public. You had better keep your mouth shut, Johnson Suleiman. I have told you people, the era of fear, the era of intimidation, the era of extortion, the era of quackery is over. This revolution is real. It is an ideological revolution. No longer the days of fear where you men come and say, touch not my anointed. Who the hell is anointed? Every time you mention the spiritual, the grace that you carry, what kind of grace? The grace that could not control you, could not control your body lust. You said you are different from other pastors, that you are not the conventional pastors. How are you different? How are you different from our politicians? That when people speak out against them, the next thing they do, they bundle them up with police, the DSS, the army, and all the armed and unarmed forces. You come on that person. I won't even be surprised if you do same to me, talking to you now. I won't be surprised. Not that I'm even scared. What nonsense! What nonsense! You come on to your altar or your pulpit and begin to spew rubbish. You spend most of your Sundays instilling this fear in your people, in your members. And these sheep have no choice but to succumb. I have been in so many crusades where you have been invited to preach, especially in Benin. You staged the men that will welcome you there. All of them decked in suits, trying to mimic the way you dress. And they will all go on their knees. Sometimes 10, 15, 20 of them. And you begin to pat their backs and their heads. Like a farmer counting his flock of goats or sheep. His head of goats. And you think you are being feared. Fear who? Fear you. You said that the forces of government came after you because you condemned the herdsmen killing. Who told you that? Who told you that? With all the evidences being shot forward, what did you do? You claim to be a man of God, a man of the altar. And the best way to react is to use police to intimidate her. You should be ashamed of yourself, Johnson Suleiman. You are not an example that youth should follow. I am not going to blame you for patronizing her. Is a man's nature. The biological composition of man is polygamous, whether we deny it or not. And that is what took over you, not any anointing. And your members were all on the internet. Even one of them threatened me when I did a post then in support of Stephanie Otobo. The guy threatened me from Holland when I told him that I have had his details online, that I was going to forward it to my sister in Holland, who will then put it to the Interpol. The guy immediately blocked me. This is how you recruit people to defend you nonsensically. We are no longer in the era of fear. People are going to speak out like they have never done before. They are only waiting for somebody to take the lead. And that is what we have offered to do, even if it cost us our life. Who the hell are you? That you were a millionaire before you came into ministry. Prove it. Prove it how? That you pay tithe to ministries and ministers that your members cannot even pay in 2 Sundays. You are a pathological liar. You forgot you once said you trekked from Ore to Benin. You forgot that? That you once said so? So you made millions before ministry and you trekked from Ore to Benin. Liars have short memory. When you people know that you have gained control over the minds of your followers, over the minds of your sheep, this is all you come in theology. Use that knowledge of the Bible that you claim you have read 36 times, back and cover, front to back, back to back. Use that knowledge to stage a debate. None of you have been able to use scriptural backings to condemn the claims of Daddy Freeze. None of you. All you keep doing is the fear factor. We are not going to remain in that fear factor. We are going to be teaching people, your congregants, your listeners, and Christians all over the world, that the fear factor is no longer relevant in 2017. You read the Bible back to back, and you did not see the story that is similar to yours, in the sense that both you and that prophet have bald head. Agbakman, they call it in Benin, or bad head. Anyhow you try, you pronounce it. That children, I am a father. I have 2 children and 1 on the way. So my children will clap after a man and call him bad head, bad head, bad head, bad head. And the man will get so provoked, and he will command beasts from nowhere to eat up all of them. And these stories does not bother to you people, you preachers. You read the Bible back to back and you believe the snake talked. That you cannot discuss spiritual matters with Daddy Freeze. Who told you that discussing tithe is spiritual matters? Where did you hear that from or learn that from? Who told you that the issue of tithe, who pays tithe in the spirit? If tithing was a spiritual matter, why do your members not pay spiritually? I'm asking you. If discussing tithes was a spiritual matter or is a spiritual matter, why don't your members pay tithe spiritually? Why don't the money they pay as tithe come spiritually, and you receive it spiritually and be rich spiritually? Was it spiritual money used to build your house in Auchi? Finance bank in Auchi? When you go to the airport or within the country, that you used to pay for your ticket and you say that you can't discuss spiritual matters with carnal minded people. Who is more carnally minded? You giving money to a stripper saying you are helping her, so you have finished helping all your members in Benin or in Auchi. Some that I know that live in abject poverty and cost penury, you've not helped those ones. You are helping the one in Canada that has electricity 24/7. And even if she doesn't have money to eat, she will walk to a place where she can pick food up from the supermarket. And that one now you see make you the help. You are the most arrogant, the most disrespectful, and the worst pathological liar in Christendom in Nigeria. You don't say things anyhow. When you know that Nigeria is a country that one know one to know the other, to know that one to know this one. The connection of knowing each other is almost there. We know you. Those days you were gallivanting around the area in one trouser and one shirt for weeks. We know those days. Today now you have branch in South Africa. Who heads the branch? Answer the question yourself. Who heads that branch in South Africa? You are now living the life on the fast lane, and those who have pummeled you, those who have pushed you with their hard-earned money, should be ashamed of yourself. We know your tactics, your policies, and the next thing you do, you bother them up with policemen. The same police that have been rated the world, you know how to use them to oppress people. You know how to use them to shut people up. You know how to use them to arrest people, to silence people. Go to Canada and defend yourself in the $5 million waiting for you. You claim you are so rich. Go there. Go there. Who is that one saying that I should leave Apostle Joseph Suleiman alone? Has he left us alone? Forces of oppressors, forces of liars. That you pay tithe more than your all the monies your members pay in 2 Sundays that you pay to 1 Sundays. If you do that, you by now you will sell all your cars, you sell all your houses to be paying tithe to the ministers and ministries you claim you are paying tithe to, dangerous tithe to. Show me in the Bible where tithe was spiritual. Which sacrifice in the Bible was spiritual? Tell me. If God wanted a spiritual sacrifice, he would not ask Cain and Abel to go and provide sacrifices and burn them as burnt offerings unto him. If God wanted a spiritual sacrifice or spiritual tithe from Abraham, he would not ask him to go and sacrifice his son Isaac. After testing him with Isaac, he provided a ram for him to slaughter. Was the ram spiritual? What do you even mean by spiritual? That is how you deceive people. Spiritual. What do you mean by spiritual? I might want to subscribe to some of your philanthropic gesture, but the way you do it is so arrogant, so belittling. You said El-Rufai will die after 1 month. He has not died. He has not died. People have been calling me, sending me messages since my last video on Adeboye, and telling me, go on exile, go on exile, go and hide your head, oh. They will come after you, they will come and kill you. These people are dangerous, oh. They are cabal, they are this, they are that, they are dangerous. And I said to them, removing me, exterminating me, eliminating me, or executing me will not stop people from rising up to speak the truth to their ears. Whether they like it or not, the truth will continue to stare them in the face. The truth will continue to be heard and continue to be said anywhere, anytime. You forgot you were in a church in Benin where you bragged that you took your wife to the best hotel in the world, a 7-star hotel. That when you place an order for food or drink or anything, that it is not a human being that brings it. The thing finds its way to the room. I don't know how you said it. Were you saying that so that people will know that you know how to enjoy, or that you have so much money? Who were you before you became a preacher? You also said that most of these men have successful businesses. Then I ask you again, show me or prove to me that one man of the pulpit that was a billionaire or a millionaire before they became a preacher. The truth is that if these men that you talked about were millionaires or billionaires before they went into ministry, they won't even bother going into ministry. Archbishop Benson Dahosa brought flamboyance, brought style, he brought lucrativeness. And when he passed on, it became a trend. It became something that the upcoming preachers want to emulate. He built himself vast estates, hospitals, schools, mansions, flashy cars, and such that when he died in 1998, look at those following after that time. Look at them today. The quest for wealth, the quest for material gains have taken over all of them. But you forgot the story in your same Bible where the rich man asked Jesus, what do I do to inherit the kingdom? What must I do to find heaven? What was Christ's response to him? He told the man, Oga, go and sell everything that you have. He did not say, bring it to me. He said, and give to the poor. Can you obey that same scripture today? Can you sell all you have now and give to the poor so that you will make heaven? The answer is no, because you people have built your own heaven here on earth. You have built your paradise here on earth. You are telling us not to speak out. Who are you using fear to intimidate? Who cares if you own $50 billion or $50 trillion? Who cares? I'm not one of your gullible sheep paying the money or enriching you. Who cares? People will call us Antichrist for speaking against the forces that have held this country hostage. You are so spiritually powerful. Go to Saudi Arabia and preach the gospel there. Go to North Korea and preach the gospel there. Go to Yemen, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Your Bible said that you should go and preach the gospel to all creatures. How come people only preach to human beings? Are goats no longer creatures? Are sheep no longer creatures? Are ants, tigers, lions no longer creatures? Go and preach to them. He said all creatures, not only human beings. You read the Bible 36 times and still you could not take under the phrase scripturally to debunk him. This fear factor that you men of dogs use on members is going to water down. We are going to destroy it. We are going to destroy it. It's already facing destruction already. Yes. 15-20 years ago, we didn't have these means. 10 years ago, we didn't have these means. I remember what you also said in the video, that it is easy to have followers on Facebook or on social media. That if it is easy, these people should go and start a church. Not everybody have that criminal mindset to use ministry to defraud people. That you do does not mean that others do, that I do. That we should go and start a church. No. I will remind you that the Arab Spring that took place a couple of years ago in the Arab part of North Africa and the others started by social media. If you like, look down on it. Tell the world that we don't have guts or we don't have what it takes because we are using social media to debunk you dogs of men, you criminal pastors. Tell the world like that. But I put it to you that social media is more than what you think it is. Were it not for social media, how will it be possible for the world to know that a certain preacher from Nigeria patronized a stripper in Canada? Looking down on social media? No. Social media is a voice, is a channel for us to speak, to air our minds. We are no longer going to be intimidated. The time of religious dogmatism is gone. I like that comment from Eze Ifeinchuku. Yes, it is gone. You know what angers me the most when this man talks? He likes to forget his humble beginning. His mother was a policewoman. I don't know if she has retired from the force. Ask him why he wasn't a millionaire then, building houses everywhere. We know your games. We know your gimmicks. People have spoken out, and it will not end there. You don't use fear factor on people anymore. You can do that to your congregants. Congregation of aged people, youthful people, and you talk to them as if you are talking to kindergartens. You are talking to 3 or 4, 5 years old babies. What the hell is wrong with you, Suleiman? You have made so much money out of people, out of ministry, that you have this guts to talk to anybody anyhow. Even at that, there are people that are genuinely making money, that are not in ministry, and you are not, in fact, they are 10%, you don't have their, and you don't hear their names. They are humble. Humility should be a garment on those who preach Jesus. Servitude should be a cloak upon those who preach Christianity. But today, what we have are bosses, masters. Who is that moron saying you pity my life? You think I'm a fool like you? I'm not foolish like you. I am not as foolish as you are. You are a sheep. You can continue to remain a sheep and a fool for life. But my job is to redeem you from foolery and fuckery. And hookieism. I already defined hookieism in my first video to Adeboye. After all of that, he went on air and started pulling publicity stunts, playing table tennis, carrying madam up and down. You see, every time I talk like this, I also blame the government. Why are churches so lucrative in Nigeria? Why are they springing up like melon seed sprinkled in a fertile expanse of land and spreading like watermelon seeds? You know watermelon, when you plant it, it grows and it connects, spread like field. Why is it so lucrative? Because these men have shown that in a matter of years, 5 years, 6 years, you start a church, become a millionaire, wearing designer suits and Italian shoes to match, wearing gold watches, driving exotic wonders on wheels, having exotic strippers as girlfriends, having monies to buy jeeps, SUVs, Benzes, wagons, for targets, for pussies and punani. What does it matter if I'm driving home and an assassin pull up and shoot me in the head? What does it really matter? What? Would that stop people not to come out tomorrow and speak? You people need to stop your fear factor. You listeners, you need to stop your fear factor. You don't tell people how Christianity found its way into the country, for the continent. You don't tell people that. You don't tell people what transpired at the Council of Nicaea. You don't tell people that. You don't tell people that before the advent of Christianity, that Africans had their own traditions. Fela sang it. Do you know that today, if a man steals, I said it before, I'll say it again, and they give him a Bible to swear, That is why sometimes when I'm in the courtroom, I just wonder. The murderer will still be asked to swear with the Bible, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Even when he or she is the killer. If it is so powerful, it should have struck that person dead on the spot. And that killer will use money to hire the best lawyers, senior advocates, bribe the judges everywhere, and he or she will walk away scot-free after swearing with the Bible. I don't care what you people think. I don't care what you say, what threat you issue, what political intimidation you can muster on me. But truth must be said in this country. Truth must be spoken in this country. I'm coming. Hold on a minute. Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry for that. I went to get my daughter. You see, while he was doing that video, while he was preaching and saying all those trash he said, I picked my pen and I was taking points. I took points, and the first one there is, he said, it is stupidity for him to sit down and speak spiritual matters with a logical, reasoning person. You that is a preacher of the Bible, I want to tell you that you don't know the Bible more than the phrase. The evidence is already made bare. You don't know, Justice Suleiman, you don't know the Bible more than the phrase. You want to paint yourself too big and the phrase too small to match with. Okay, don't sit with him in a debate. Use scriptural backings to buttress your point against his own. Do that. Do that. That's one. That he also said that your pastor on social media should not teach you about tithing. The same you said that you people can go and inquire from God on their own. Who needs you to intermediate between them and God? Those people are fools. That is why they pay you to do that for them. So, to get access to God, people have to come through you. So that the phrase and all other people speaking against tithing don't know the Bible. They cannot teach anything because you claim that you have a PhD in theology and human resource administration. I beg, get shame. Yeah? Get shame. Then you talk about religious rascality and spiritual maturity. religious rascality, spiritual maturity. Well, for the religious rascality is the best definition you give yourself, Suleiman. You gave yourself the best definition of who you are. A rascal that can intimidate people with police. Who does that? A rascal. Well, we'll wait for you to tell us the citadels of learning where you bag your PhD and Human Resource Administration. Your PhD in Theology and Human Resource Administration. We'll wait for you to tell us that. Let's know. You are so religiously rascal, a scoundrel, a mongrel. And you want to come and paint people like me or like Daddy Freeze as religious rascal. I'm not even religious in the first place. I was religious, not anymore. I live my life in kindness. I try not to put my hands into criminal acts. I try not to commit sin. What you people define as sin, not inclusive of other biological needs of man like sex. So you call this sin, I call it a need. Good for my health. Sins were defined by religion. Crime defined. Okay, you said you have read the Bible from Genesis. So let me say that when you read it the first 2, 3, 4, 5 times or 6 times, you did not have the full understanding of it. So you have to go back reading again and reading again and reading again. The Bible is not a small book. It's not a novel. It's not a novel that you can just read. You can just read like in 2 days. Even if you do nothing else, you just sit in one place reading the Bible 36 times. Oh God, so free they talk lie. Then look at another thing they said. People who argue are shallow people. You see your life? So people who argue are shallow people. People who come out to debunk tithing are shallow people. That is what you said. How stupid to say that. How insultive to learned people to say that. If you think you know it all, I will tell you, those who taught Bill Gates, the likes of Bill Gates, the like of Mark Zuckerberg, those who taught them at Harvard, they should be the world's richest men today. Yes. How many degrees does Aliko Dangote have? Today is Africa's richest man. Not by collecting tithes. People that became rich by virtue of tithes being received, not being paid though. That's what you people lie to your congregation, that you got rich by paying tithe. No, I'm telling you that you got rich by receiving tithe. What nonsense. Who is that one? Say shut up, go build your own church and keep quiet. Thank you. I don't have to build a church. My church is here. Just as your brain is dead, so my own is here. Okay, that answers you. All right. Okay, good. He said any movement you start under controversy is a cult. Okay, so by that you are justifying the federal government of proscribing IPOB as terrorists. Because we know Nnamdi Kanu is controversial, yes. So any movement started on that controversy is in court. Those statements should not come from a man who claims to have PhD. It should come from an Okpere in Ring Road or in Obini. That any movement you start under controversy is a cult. And the man who says this also said he is a PhD holder in two fields, theology and human resource administration. Now align that your statement with your PhD. Go and tear that certificate and dispose it. That statement should come from a motor parked out in Idi Araba or Ajegunle, not from a man who said he has PhD. Tell me any movement that is meant to right the wrong, has it not always been meant by controversy or with controversy? Is there any movement, name it, in the days of Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, or even Al Mandiba? Talking about Mandela now. Is there any controversy not affiliated with any movement that is meant to right the wrong, that is meant to free people, either from mental slavery or physical slavery? Brainwashed people who are now subservient to you. We take that, not me, not my likes. There are great names I'll be mentioning. People who are using social media to reawaken people. Darren, I don't guess it. Sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce that name. I don't guess it. I-D-O-N-G-E-S-I-T. Darren, I don't guess it. Sunday Mba. Ayodele Emmanuel. Alausa Olatunde. Great minds, great thinkers, and the word that will be before you, dogs of men, is that we are rising in our numbers. Not that we want to physically challenge anybody to a fight. No, we are going to reawaken their minds to start thinking afresh. Who is the cult? Who is the cult? Or who are the members of the cult? It is you, the cabal pastors. As we have cabals in politicians, so also we have cabals with the pastors. So also we have the one they call Reverend Father Mbaka. We've not heard him say anything again since he realized that it was a mistake they forced out on us as president. We didn't hear him say anything again. When you give them money, they will say whatever they like in their pulpits to brainwash their members, who they know largely do their bidding. Pastors are also cabals. That's what I said. You know where you meet. You know where you arrange your miracles. You know the rehearsal you do. The wheelchair rehearsal, the blind rehearsals. Look at that one, that schmuck in Lagos that commanded a woman who said she's not a woman, she's blind. Look at that one. That one that said he commanded a woman to go blind for 10 minutes. I keep telling them, I have 4 blind children. that most of you know about now. 4 blind children. Sadly, they've been to this man's church in Auchi countless number of times, and they have not been able to see. The one they called himself, what's his name? Pastor John Igogbe. He said, "You are finished." Oh, really? You are finished? You are finished because we are speaking out against the means that forced you to go and open a church. You are finished. You don't know. You are really finished. You are finished. You are scared as we speak now because when your members have become so enlightened and awoken, and when they kill that fear factor, when they kill that fear factor, you will realize that you have your chairs, an empty hall to go and sell and go and make cassava farm. Yes. Or you go and learn how to sell spare parts. You are still not too old. You are a young man. You can still be productive at your age than stand in the altar and wait for free money. You are a thief. Nothing more than that. Excuse me. No, but I don't like video. Sorry, there was a knock on my door. That one wants to come and start threatening us again. Do we look threatening to you? Do I look threatening to you? Or you want me to broadcast my address so you can come and see me yourself? We are no longer subject of fear in their hands. Those of them who claim they were called by God, ask them how. Their encounter is laughable. That they encounter the Holy Spirit in their dream. You see, high fever, malaria and typhoid, when left untreated, can lead to hallucination. Your brain begins to see things, imagine things. The images that your eyes captured in the day and in the night, your brain begins to reinterpret them at night when you sleep. And that's what some of you call vision. People just come on the altar and start to vomit trash. What even makes you think that your God specifically anointed you to know the Bible more than any other person? The Bible is just a book. It's a literal book. It's a literature written by men, like every other book, like the dictionary, like the encyclopedia, the encyclopedia. You come and tell me, the one that said that I should not judge them except God. If man should not be a judge, why do we have judges in our courtrooms? Stupid comments you are giving there. If a man cannot be a judge, why do we have judges in our courtrooms? Why can't we judge criminals that stole in the market, in the courtroom, and we cannot judge the one that is stealing in the altar or on the altar? People should go and demand your senses back from these men wherever they kept them. We have seen tremendous heinous crimes being orchestrated and perpetuated by these men. The other one was caught in Oshogbo, where he laid human beings on the foundation. I listened to a confession another time. They told him that he should go and kill pregnant women and put on the land where he is to build the church. That as many maggots that will feast on that corpse, on that carcass, on that decomposing body, That is how many his members will be. Pastors in the day, Babalawo at night. Why are you deceiving yourself? A lot of you are better known as native doctors or witch doctors, but you know that those ones comes a little bit untidy, shrine looking so unkempt, blood everywhere, animals everywhere. And they said no, it is more honorable, it is more dignified, it is more patronizing, it is more lucrative when I do it in a suit and a tie and in a hall filled with jubilating, brainless people. Touch not my anointed. You are a fool, Pastor Johnny Hogbe. Who anointed you? Who anointed you? Which oil was it to anoint you? Is it engine oil, olive oil, or vegetable oil? Who anointed you to come and talk rubbish here? Because we are going to dismantle the cabal. You just watch and see. The gods people did not have, they are beginning to find it now. I have touched on John Suleiman. My next video is going to come on general their techniques, their styles, and how they manipulate people. That is going to be our next exposition. We are going to bring down the forces that have held this country hostage. They are not even the politicians only. They are the men of dogs. How can you justify, like I always ask, that the poorest, one of the poorest countries on earth, Nigeria, has some of the richest pastors on earth? The one they call fireman. I saw where this American, a black American, came from the US to interview him. It was very, very, very laughable. A man commanded his members to eat snake, live snake, to drink Dettol.